So now it's time for some detailing. First of all, I would like to stop this. So what I'm doing here is just adding rivets at the front where the transmission will be. So basically, person just unrivet this front part and then be able to change the transmission. So it's much easier to change in and out. I prefer using the rivets at the smallest form because it just looks more detailed and better than these large rivets. Look a bit more primitive in technology. I'm adding some attachment points to the mantlet and a little bit more detailing at the mantlet just to make it seem realistic, and then moving on from the mantlet, just adding these little attachment points we can put equipment or wires or whatever you need onto the tank, just generally placing them all around the tank for a bit more detailing and a bit more usability of the tank, if you think about it logistically, that is. Here I've made a little gun clip to keep the gun in place when it is being transported. You see a lot of tanks do have this, especially older model of tanks that have these gun clips or gun mounts. I have added some storage and equipment onto this, and also some wires for towing. I decided to add a lot of attachment points onto the turret, so a lot of equipment and storage can be placed onto the turret if needed, or like extra equipment like tops or beds or stuff like that can be added, or any other general equipment can be attached to the turret of the tank. And I also decide to add some tracks, extra spare tracks, and road wheels to this thing. Just give it a little bit more detail by adding extra parts of the tank. I also add little vents on the turret, and then a little port where the ammunition can be, or the spent casing can be thrown out of the turret, and then add some other detailing onto the tank's hull. I decided to make a custom sort of like side skirts and fenders, just so that it is a bit more of a detailed model instead of just using like the prefabbed ones. So again, the process of putting on mirroring and grid snap, and then making sure it's two parts that are mirrored correctly, and then getting it to the general shape. You can see there's a lot of moving around points and faces, resizing it and extending stuff as part of this modeling for the fenders or the side skirts at this point. I extend this top part and then extrude it as well into the tank so that it is at least attached to the hull, where it's not just randomly floating next to the hull. Otherwise, that would be kind of a bit weird. With this build, I decided to go for a kind of like a Leopard 2 weird, almost triangular shaped side skirts. So it's a bit more modern looking and interesting sort of shape. That can also work in a lot of desert type of environments. With this front part, I decided to integrate the side skirts and the fenders at the front, so that it's one big piece. So all I do is do a simple extrude, and then go on to do multiple other extrudes and moving around to get this rounded shape at the front for the fender. With the camo, I first thought of going through some of the preset camos or custom camos or paint schemes rather, that I have for the tank, like a three-tone NATO or some other woodland type of coloration, going through gray and green. Then eventually I decided to do a gray and then change it to maybe American OD green, or the darkish green that the Americans use, and then slightly fine tune it to just look pretty decent, I think, for me at least. Yeah, that looks about nice enough. second reload. Ability seems a bit lacking. Yeah, 15 horsepower per ton is the greatest. Should probably decrease. Yeah, I'm just making this thing quite heavy. It's already at 63 tons. How to decrease the weight? Okay. Rather firepower. I forgot. Nope. There's no counter. Oh well. Well, here's a 60-ton Super Sherman with a odd-looking turret. Of course, there's a little bit more detailing I can add, but pretty happy with this little thing, except for the turret. It still looks odd. It looks more like a Pershing turret than a Sherman turret, but that is how it is. Thanks for watching the video, and I hope you enjoyed it and learned something. Sorry about my rambling and taking so much time, but yeah. Cheerio, and hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.